The Rams travel to Montreat, North Carolina to take on the number 12 team in the country. Welcome inside the Rams Digital Sports Network as Bluefield takes on the Montreat Cavaliers here inside McAllister Gymnasium. Hello everybody, Bailey Angle here. Glad to have you with us once again on the Rams Digital Sports Network as Bluefield is red hot after a big win at home against Point University. Well, Point came into Bluefield, couldn't stop the Rams as they won 95-64, but now they're playing up against the number 3 team in the AAC and Montreat College. Well, Montreat has still lost 4 games in a row, including coming off of a loss to Truett McConnell here at home, winning that game by 17. But of course, Montreat dealing with some injuries this year. So one of the better players for the Cavaliers, Alonzo Mobley, the guard, averaging right around 14.5 points per game, the junior from nearby Lincolnton, North Carolina. But Bluefield really has to stress in working the ball around and using some very great defense. After Donnell Gooch started that last game, Bluefield showed a little bit of a different starting lineup for the Rams, but now having to play against a talented Montreat team at home, really due for a win. The Rams looking at another pretty unorthodox starting lineup. Jeremiah Jenkins, the starting point guard for Bluefield. It looks like Tyquan Reed will come out in the red. Naquan Cousins, really the premier athlete for the Rams, joined by Damon Childress, one of the shooting guards for Bluefield, and Donnell Gooch will have the tip for the Rams. Looks like Bluefield wearing those red jerseys and the blue letters here today, and McAllister Gymnasium in front of a crowd starting to pile up. We didn't see it as much for the women's game, but there's still a student section starting to accumulate here right at midcourt. Now the Rams want to duel it out here. Looks like David Caldwell will join on the floor, and the tip-off will be dueled with Donnell Gooch as well as Alonzo Mobley. Rams going to go left to right in the red jerseys. Montreat wearing the whites as we are just about ready to be underway with more AAC basketball. Tip-off in the air, hauled in by Naquan Cousins, and Bluefield will start with the ball. Rams coming in at 10-6 and 6-4 in the AAC. Montreat at 15-5 and 8-5 in the conference. Childress in the right wing, a cross-court lob over to Tyquan Reed. Not scared to shoot from anywhere. Childress launches from the right wing, too short. Offensive board on the right side, Naquan Cousins. His pass tipped in the air, almost hauled in by Montreat, but still taken on a loose ball by Tyquan Reed. Lob to Naquan Cousins. Couldn't finish the one-handed alley-oop, and Teron Hemphill will take the ball up. Passes, it looks like Montreat will try to speed this one up. Terrell Sheffy also on the floor as Jalen White, the point guard, operates for Montreat College. A bounce in the right wing over to Caldwell. Feed down low to Mobley, and it goes too far out of his hands. So the Rams forcing a turnover. And when you ask Richard Morgan what happened in that game against Truett McConnell, Bluefield did not play sound defense. And on that first possession, looks like they set the tone early. Zip down low to Donnell Gooch working around the perimeter. Jenkins returns to Gooch. Gooch looking for someone to pass it to. Finds Reed. Launches a 3. Misses. Rebound still loose as the ball is corralled by Terrell Sheffy on the far corner. Ball taken up by Jalen White, the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Here in Montreat, we're not too far from Charlotte, right between the Queen City as well as Asheville, North Carolina. Here's Terrell Sheffy, feeds top of the key Mobley and dishes on the right side over to Jalen White. Skating down the lane, zip down low, reverse layup falls for Teron Hemphill. So now Bluefield down by 2. It is 2-0. Jeremiah Jenkins feeds on the left side over to Damon Childress as we are in a loud little gym, folks. Damon Childress shoots for 3, swish from the right corner to shush the crowd. Well, the sophomore from Vinton, Virginia, starting to bark at the crowd here. And now getting back on defense. 18 minutes left to go in the first half. A handoff at the top of the key. Montreat starting to slow the game down just a tad bit. Here's David Caldwell near the top, and he'll hands it off over to Terrell Sheffy. Back up top over to Hemphill. As Hemphill starts to skate it back out, here's Jalen White off of a screen. Feeds over to Hemphill. 3 on the shot clock. Shot clock down to 2. No shot, and Bluefield forces a turnover there. 3-2 Rams lead with 17:42 left to go here in the first half. Already 2 turnovers forced by Bluefield as Naquan Cousins bounces into Jeremiah Jenkins. Jenkins more of the starting point guard after Sean Robinson scored 18 points in the win against Benedict College. Feed over to Damon Childress in the right corner and kicks it back out over to Taekwon Reed. Feed in the low block to Naquan Cousins. Hard spin, hook shot, yes, with the foul. Naquan Cousins with the and one. Bluefield with all the energy in the world right now, leading 5-2, and they will send Cousins to the line. Playing at his home state, the sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina. Now Jerron Hemphill on the other end of the floor. Guy trying to command this game actually went to the same community college as Sean Robinson. As Cousins completes the three-point play. 6-2, 4-point lead for Bluefield here in the first half. Going down the near sideline, here's Caldwell. In his blue shoes, he'll hand it off over to Hemphill. Working the ball around the perimeter. Here's Caldwell. Flare of a shot, bounces no good. Rebound, Taekwon Reed, and a foul called defensively on David Caldwell. As Caldwell tried to sell an offensive foul, he was inadvertently elbowed by Taekwon Reed, but it looked like Caldwell reached in. A buzzer, and now Montreat sending in a new player in Austin Butler, another shooting guard. Bluefield not changing up their lineup just yet as the pass goes into Jeremiah Jenkins. Midcourt press being applied by the Montreat Cavs, just pinballing the ball around. Here comes Damon Childress at the top of the key. He's already hit 1-3 in this one. Bluefield leading 6-2. Jeremiah Jenkins at the top, feeds into Naquan Cousins. Pump fake, pass out in the right wing to Childress. Around the yard, Taekwon Reed on the left wing with 8 to shoot. Puts it on the deck, feeds Childress. Feed on the right side, Jeremiah Jenkins darts back to Childress, launches a tray. Yes! Damon Childress with a pair of trays, and that is his season high with 2 threes in one game. Makes it 9-2, Rams lead by 7. Mobley with a foul drawn by the layup, and now he'll go to the charity stripe. That's going to be on Jeremiah Jenkins. 16:34 remaining in the first half. Rams trailing. And here's Mobley. Didn't hit the layup, so he'll have 2. Leads the team in points, 14.5 per game. And the junior sinks the first free throw to make it 9-3. Well, if you're just now joining us, the Rams women just wrapped up a game earlier on, and they lost by 15, a tough one here at McAllister Gymnasium. Mobley misses the second of his 2 free throws with a front-end miss. Here's Jeremiah Jenkins taking the ball up, a chest pass to Childress, who is hot with 2 threes. Taekwon Reed hoping for help, feeds Childress in the left corner. Dish back to Reed, a pump fake going down the lane, underhands Jenkins, launches a 3, air ball going out of bounds. And you're starting to hear that from the student section on the near sideline. Still a good atmosphere for such a small school. And Bluefield really has to combat not only the Montreat defense, but the Montreat students. White at the top of the key goes back towards that midcourt logo. Passes right over to Sheffy. Another dish on the right side to Mobley. Bumps into Naquan. Cousins draws a foul before he could get a shot off. So now that's going to be just the second foul on Bluefield and the first one on Naquan Cousins. Rams still with their starting lineup on the floor. And a pass in, now a shot launched from the three-point line and good from Jalen White on the far wing. Now the Rams just leading now by 3. It is 9-6 after the tray falls. Well, Bluefield hoping to find an answer on the other end. Taekwon Reed zips it back to Jenkins. Hard dart down to Cousins. He walked in the lane. 15:39 remaining in the first half, and Bluefield turned the ball over inside a hostile environment here inside McAllister Gymnasium. It was a tough place to play, but Bluefield playing against a Montreat team that is number 12 in the country, but they've still lost 4 in a row. So this is the number 3 and 4 teams playing against each other in the AAC. Bluefield at 4. Here's Mobley, fouled by Stan Nelms on his way to the basket. He did not make the shot, so now Mobley will return to the charity stripe. Stan Nelms in for the first time, the senior coming out of Atlanta, Georgia. Interestingly enough, Jorge Concepcion coming off of the bench in this game. despite leading Bluefield in points scored with 15.8 points per game. Now Mobley, his first shot, swish. 9-7, Rams still up by 2. They were up 9-2. And now on a bit of a run here for Montreat, as well as a couple of good defensive possessions for the Cavaliers. Mobley threads the ball, shoots, misses the second again. So now he's 2 of 4 from the stripe after Stan Nelms hauled in the board. Jeremiah Jenkins still in as the point guard. Rams really getting barked at by the student section. Pass on the left side over to Damon Childress. On the right, here's Taekwon Reed working against Jerron Hemphill. Cross-court lob to Jenkins. Losses a tray. This time he misses off the back end of the board. Here comes Hemphill, almost swatted away by Childress. Cross-court lob over to Butler, picked up by Stan Nelms. Working fast, here comes Bluefield. That was just a very hard possession for Montreat to get anything going. Taekwon Reed with a one-arm layup, he missed. Rebound still fought for Donnell Gooch. On the putback, he finds it. The 6'9 junior from Clarendon College gives Bluefield a 4-point lead. It's 11-7, 14:36 remaining in the first half. Well, Montreat, a team with really no size, as a shot doesn't fall for Sheffy on the left end. The ball swirled around the cup. Bluefield might be able to win it in the low post as Jenkins shoots for 3. This time, nothing but net. Starts to jump at midcourt, barking at the student section. It is now 14-7. Bluefield leads by 7 as a timeout is called by Garrett Jones with 14:17 remaining. Rams return to the floor, down, or up by 7 rather, 14-7, 14-17 remaining in the game. Jeremiah Jenkins with his first 3 of the game. Now bringing in some size for Montreat, Jordan Eaton, 6'7", sophomore, will link up with David Tripp as he enters the ball game for the first time, as does Jorge Concepcion. Taking the ball up for Montreat. Looks like it's going to be Shad Blanton. And Butler bounces onto the right wing over. Caldwell camps out near the logo. Great defense by Bluefield's Taekwon Reed. 10 to shoot. Lob inside. Here comes a shot blocked by David Tripp. Jordan Eaton didn't have the basket to go. Pass in on to Blanton, towing down the baseline. They didn't get the shot on the rim. Bluefield able to force a shot clock violation. 13:46 remaining in the first half. Fans starting to pile in here as Bluefield leads by 7. A ton of energy. Rams playing great defense, and you can feel it on that Bluefield bench. Richard Morgan, in his 9th season at Bluefield, just talked about how he needs to kick up that defensive intensity. So far, so good. Concepcion bounces top of the key. Jenkins zip over to Taekwon Reed. A feed down low to Nelms. Cross-court lob. Concepcion launches a tray. No good. And a rebound for Shad Blanton. Sophomore guard from Forest City, North Carolina. Looking for a screen from Butler. Instead, Butler matched up with Concepcion. Bounces down low to Eaton. In the corner, a cross-court lob over the head of Caldwell. And another turnover for Montreat College. Clock halted at 13:07. And now a new man brought in. It'll be Cody Miller, the 6'6 guard. And it looks like even though Cody Miller is a guard coming out in the pink shoes, he's going to line up in the low post in the zone defense. Rams going left to right, leading in this one 14-7. 13 minutes remaining as Jenkins dishes right over to Jorge Concepcion. Concepcion with a dip down low to Nelms. Bounce out low to David Tripp, who sinks the three. Rams can't be stopped right now as it is 17-7. Going across midcourt, met up by Taekwon Reed. It's Caldwell. Bounce into Austin Butler. This Montreat trailing by 10, and a foul called on the new man in, Cody Miller, off of the ball on a moving screen. Rams forcing a turnover again. 12:34 remaining in the game, or remaining in the first half. Third team foul is first as Jenkins walks across midcourt. Rams looking for a win against Montreat in this game that was postponed from earlier in the month. Tripp's pass intended for Jeremiah Jenkins, tipped out of bounds off of the hands of Cody Miller for Montreat. That'll bring in Zachary Davis on the substitution. Austin Butler going to get a breather as Garrett Jones in his third season went to Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Looks on from the bench. Chucked up way in the air, hauled in by David Tripp near midcourt. He's going to hand it off to his point guard with 12:18 remaining in the first half, and now 10 to shoot. Jenkins lobs right wing over to Taekwon Reed. Zips top of the key. Nelm storming down the lane. Fade away, no good. Off the rim. Rebound for Shad Blanton. Trying to go coast to coast in that white headband. Met with some pressure near midcourt as he hands it off over to Caldwell. Here's Mobley. Long range three from the left wing. He missed, but a rebound for Caldwell. Going for a transition jumper. Missed from the corner. Not a great look. Now here's Jenkins. Lobs it over to Taekwon Reed. Euro step in the lane and fouled on the floor. That's going to be called on Zach Davis, junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, and a transfer from Wingate University. Sean Robinson, the North Carolina native, brought in. The first foul and a team fourth on Montreat. Bluefield just three away from the 1-and-1. Sean Robinson to pass on the right side of the basket. Robinson looking for someone to pass it to. Dishes Concepcion. Arcs a tray. Good! The junior from Chesapeake, Virginia, gives Bluefield a 13-point lead. 20-7. 11:35 remaining, and this is the best the Rams have looked on the road all year. Going straight into the left wing. Caldwell zips top of the key. Miller almost lost the ball and picked away by David Tripp. Coast to coast he goes and swatted at the rim, but a foul called on Cody Miller. So that almost got everybody out of their seat here at McAllister Gymnasium, but still a foul. It's the second foul on Cody Miller. 11:21 remaining as David Tripp will go to the charity stripe. Well, Tripp, one of three Rams averaging in double figures at 11.1 points per game, despite only making 4 starts. 72% free throw shooter for the junior from Connecticut. And the Rams not sending anyone to the line to try to rebound this, or the second shot, I should say, as David Tripp hits the first free throw. Makes it 21-7. It'll be a tough one for Montreat to come back in this one. 14-point lead for the Rams. Aren't even halfway done with the first half. Eyeing the rim. Tripp shoots and scores. 22-7. Rams on an all-out sprint on offense, but here comes Montreat in transition. Mobley with a Euro step, loops the layup, misses, tipped around, out of bounds, off of the hands of Montreat's Hemphill. And Bluefield making the Cavaliers rush, and that's just not the type of ball game that Montreat wants to play. So it's 22-7. 15-point lead for Bluefield as now Sean Robinson anchors the offense for Bluefield. Pass over to Jorge Concepcion, zips to the top of the key for Taekwon Reed. Another bounce pass to the point guard. Robinson off the screen, pops from the free throw line, misses, and a rebound for Hemphill from Montreat. 10:53 remaining in the first half. Here comes Montreat again. Hard bounces for Hemphill, spins, blocked, but a foul called by David Tripp. That's a tough one for David Tripp. It looked like he got all ball, but when he went down, got a hand on Duron Hemphill. So Hemphill, the junior from Morganton, North Carolina, Scoring 11 points per game, shoots with the left hand and rattles the foul shot in to make it 22-8. Second shot goes. So now 22-9. Rams up by 13, but still with a pretty great defensive pressure of this game as Robinson's pass is tipped out of bounds by Zachary Davis. Bluefield looking for their second win in a row. After losing to Truett McConnell 2 games ago, had a big win against Point at home, 31-point deficit. And the Rams were able to pick up another AAC win. Robinson into the left wing, cuts inside the perimeter. His floater off the backboard and in. Great play for Sean Robinson, cutting on the left side with his right hand to give the Rams the 24-9 lead. Pass in the left side for Sheffy, pressured by Sean Robinson. A mismatch as Sheffy storms in the lane. Doesn't make the layup, but a block is called down low, or rather, that's going to be a foul going on the dribble, so it won't be a shooting foul. So Stan Nelms tried to draw the charge, but before that, they reached in. It will be a shooting foul, rather, on Sean Robinson, so Bluefield wanted a charge. So now shooting 2 here, Sheffy. Well, Terrell Sheffy. His shot, good. Now Montreat on the board with double-digit points. It is 24-10. Second shot for Sheffy falls. 24-11, 10:15 remaining in the first half. David Tripp lobs up across midcourt for Tyquan Reed. Reed really acts as the second point guard for Bluefield. Cross-court lob over to Concepcion in the right wing. Bounces top of the key, Reed. High lob to Sean Robinson. Somehow kept it in with one hand. Going down the lane. His layup no good. Rebound Concepcion under the basket. Kicks back top of the key. Reed shoots for 3. Far right. Rebound David Tripp. Put back doesn't fall, but a foul. And David Tripp will have 2 shots as it looks like he was raked in the eyes accidentally. Jerron Hemphill going to the books with his first personal on the foul, and David Tripp will go to the charity stripe. 9:47 remaining first half. Bluefield leading by 13. So it's been an all-out sprint for Bluefield. The energy is just there. Montreat on their back heels for most of the first half. David Tripp sinks the first free throw, nothing but net to make it 25-11. Gage Yesbeck and Olatunji Ibifemi into the game. Anthony Nelms taken out, as well as Tyquan Reed. So Yesbeck providing a little bit more size as David Tripp rattles in the second free throw. 26-11, 15-point lead for the Rams. One-arm lob over to Sheffy. Cross-court dart over to Hemphill. His pass to Mobley results in a dunk. 26-13. Sean Robinson going across midcourt as the Rams try not to digest that one at all, just going across midcourt. It's now the 13-point lead. Still seems pretty close for the Montreat fans. A bounce on the right side for Jorge Concepcion. Darts top of the key. Sean Robinson zips in the corner for Ebifemi and returns to Robinson. Concepcion lobs Ebifemi. Left corner, goes down the lane, swings out to Concepcion. Pass stolen away. Here's Hemphill with the dunk. Might have to call a timeout soon if you're Richard Morgan. Bluefield looking to slow this one down near midcourt with Sean Robinson. All the fans getting on their feet here at McAllister Gymnasium. Robinson passes right over to Concepcion. Concepcion with a pump fake, feed strip, goes down the lane, underhands it over to Robinson. Pump fake and hands it back to David Tripp. 8 on the shot clock. Concepcion bounces to Robinson. Dart down low. Yesbeck with the fade away. It falls, but a foul is called before the shot on Alonzo Mobley. So Yesbeck elbowed by Mobley on the defense before he could turn around and hit the jumper. So meanwhile, that's the 7th foul on Montreat and the 2nd foul on Mobley. So Yesbeck will now shoot a 1-and-1. Jesbeck, not a bad free throw shooter for Bluefield. The big man homeschooled in Richmond. 61%. Now the fans starting to pressure him. His first shot rattles through the 10 and falls to tickle the twine to make it 27-15. 8:37 remaining. Jesbeck scores his first points of the contest. Jesbeck follows through and scores. Sent to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 and converts on both. Bluefield with full court press despite leading 28-15. Hemphill underhands it back to Sheffy as Bluefield gets back in his own. Going down the lane, the shot rattles through for Jalen White on the layup on the left block. Just stormed right down the baseline, and Jalen White is making Bluefield play back on their toes again. 8:17 remaining in the first half. Robinson with the lane, floats from 5, front rim no good. Jesbeck wrestling for the board between both Zachary Davis and Alonzo Mobley. And the tie-up looks like it'll give Montreat the ball with possession. 8:12 remaining. It is 28-17 Rams, still leading by 11. Montreat, though, with the energy back in the building in this tiny McAllister gymnasium. There's not even seats behind the Bluefield or Montreat benches. 8:03 remaining in the game. Sheffy with possession on the right side. Kicks top of the key, over top to Zach Davis. Now over to Hemphill on the left wing. Lob down low to Mobley. Bumps into Tripp, and they call a walk for that. So he was looking for a shot, desperate to find separation, and David Tripp stood strong and really promoted that walk. Checking in, Darian Patterson for Montreat. Mobley taken out. Now David Tripp towing down the baseline. Sean Robinson will run the ball up for Bluefield. 7:49 remaining in the first half. Rams up by 11, 28-17. Pass on the left wing for Concepcion, a hard pump fake. Robinson feeds into Tripp, splits the double team. Ugly layup, loose ball, corralled by Robinson, swings it back over to Tripp, kiss off the glass, yes. 30-17, Rams lead 13 over Montreat inside the Cavaliers' own gymnasium. This team has already lost 4 in a row. The Cavaliers at 15-5, still ranked 12 in NAIA. A tough week for the Cavs. Here's at the top of the key. Once again, a long shot for Jalen White. Swirls through for the tray. The triple falls to make it 30-20. Sean Robinson going the other way, sprinting and halting. Pass on the right wing to Concepcion. Bluefield right in front of a hostile crowd. Robinson, one arm lob to Tyquan Reed. Steps into a triple. Yes! From the left wing, the transfer from North Carolina gives Bluefield a 13-point lead once again. 33-20, 6:43 remaining. Bluefield also cheering on their defense right in front of their own bench. Jalen White hopes for help and finds it in White on the left wing. Steps into a long two, rattles away. Rebound, David Tripp. 6:26 remaining. Bluefield 33-20. Tyquan Reed going coast to coast. Euro step. Layup falls with a foul. Tyquan Reed feeling himself as he makes it 35-20. That foul is going to be notched on Zachary Davis. And you can just tell Bluefield is having fun. You can tell that in the last game as well when they nearly scored 100 points against a conference foe, but now going on the road against Montreat, battling for third place in the AAC, definitely motivated. Shot for Reed. Rattles out of the cup, and before that could be called a lane violation on David Tripp. So Montreat will get the ball back. They're down 35-20. 6:21 remaining in this one. Austin Butler checking back in for Montreat. Actually, that wasn't even a lane violation. That's called a foul on David Tripp, his second, and the team's 6th. So the next time Bluefield fouls, Montreat will go to the line with a 1-and-1. But now the Rams going man-to-man with a full court press. Sean Robinson matched up with Terrell Sheffy. Now Sheffy goes across midcourt. Sean Robinson almost poked the ball away. 6:10 remaining in the game. The pass stolen away by Nelms, going coast to coast, fouled hard by Sheffy. And Stanthony Nelms was looking for a posterizing dunk. Instead, he will go to the line. Well, the referee is still trying to see if this one will be called a shooting foul, because he will go to the line with a shooting foul. And now the official still saying, is this one will be a shooting foul instead? Yes, it will. So 2 shots. The conversation was whether if Nelms was going up for the shot or not. So in that case, it would have been a 1-and-1 if not. But he was, so it's the front end of 2 shots as Nelms misses that. 35-20 though. Nelms trying to make it a 16-point game as Jalen White checks back in. Also on the floor, Derek Casano as Montreat dives further into the bench. Nelms with a second shot. Nothing but net. 36-20. Here comes Montreat. Point guard now, Jerron Hemphill. Forward from Morganton, North Carolina, doing the point guard duties, going coast to coast. He had a wide open lane, a highway, finished with a dunk. Makes it 36-22. Bluefield fell asleep. Reed, though, Euro step. His layup doesn't fall. 36-22. Reed is going to have 2 shots. So now a 10th team foul. First one booked on Austin Butler. And even though Bluefield might be playing in a loud McAllister Gymnasium, they are playing their best here with 5:45 remaining in the first half. Bend to the knees, Reed shoots and swishes. 37-22. Buzzer sounds. David Childress back on. He has 6 points. And Jeremiah Jenkins will return with Naquan Cousins. Robinson as well as Olatunji Ibafemi join Gage Yes back on the bench. Shot for Reed. Rattles through. So after that clunker of a free throw, Rams lead by 16, 38-22. Ron Hemphill taking the ball across midcourt. Looking to cross up Stanthony Nelms, and he can't. Now cutting in towards the lane. Swings out to Butler. Pump fake. Shoots from the corner. Yes. Now the sophomore hits his first 3, and Bluefield still up 38-25. Taekwon Reed passes up top to Jeremiah Jenkins. Bluefield still with a commanding lead with 5:15 remaining in the first half. Childress feeds Jenkins right wing. Dribbling top of the key, floats, but passes over to Nelms. Through the double team, he shoots and is fouled. So Stanthony Nelms will return to the charity stripe again. So Nelms, 1 of 2 from the line tonight, as Darian Patterson picks up his first foul, team 10th. Now looking at his arm. Austin Butler kind of bumped into on that play. Nelms shooting 2. The first one swirls around the cup and falls far left. Score is still 38-25. Rams still have a very good command of this game with 5:07 remaining in the first half. And the crowd might fool you as Nelms shoots and sinks the second free throw. 39-25, timeout call by Richard Morgan. 5:07 remaining, first half. Rams lead by 14. with Hemphill. Swings down low, shot falls for Jalen White. Cut down to a 10-point game, 39-29. Jenkins swings into Naquan Cousins, swings out over to Damon Childress. A pump fake and a bounce in the left block. Foul called on Montreat. Looks like that foul will book Darian Patterson, the big junior from North Augusta, South Carolina. Rams still lead by 10, 4:07 remaining. Well, it's a tough one here in Bluefield, or here in Montreat, as Stanthony Nelms will shoot two because the team is in the double bonus. And that foul is actually called on Derek Cusano, his first. First shot for Nelms, yes. So now it is 40-29. Damon Childress taken off. Tyquan Reed back in the game. Jorge Concepcion talking to his team. And Childress is still talking it over with the assistant coaches, wanting to be back in the game. And the student section, really not something that Bluefield deals with a lot. Montreat very vocal. Stan Nelm still looking on. His team leading by 10. Or rather, they call a lane violation, so it is still 39-29. Shot for Nelms, rattles through. And now it is 40-29. Gage Yesbeck back into the game for Stan Nelms. 4:07 remaining first half. And a bounce pass into Austin Butler. Montreat has trailed for most of the game, but still, the Cavaliers playing with a lot of energy inside their home court. A lob to Cusano in the corner, swings top of the key over to Jalen White. 3:54 remaining as Butler feeds to Jerron Hemphill. Hemphill really glued by Naquan Cousins. Jalen White at the top of the key, feeds over to Hemphill with 6 to shoot. Feeds over to Cusano, pump fake into the double team, swatted but fouled by Naquan Cousins. He was in the right block. Bluefield almost forced the shot clock violation, but Derek Cusano will go to the stripe. 40-29, the clock stops at 3:38. That's the first foul on Yesbeck. Was not called on Naquan Cousins, and the fouling effort instead brings Gage Yesbeck into the books. Shot for Cusano, good. Once again, a 10-point game at 40-30. Bounce into Derek Cusano. Second shot, rattles through the tin and in. 9-point game now. Montreat feeling it as they have cut this down to a single-digit lead. 40-31. Cousins feeds to Yesbeck in the slam. Well, that was quick, and 42-31. Gage Yesbeck. Side, Austin Butler with the three. Doesn't fall. Cusano can't get the rebound. As with 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Now shooting, senior from Charlotte, North Carolina, his first swish. 32, a 10-point lead, 2:46 remaining. Yesbeck back on the right side now as Naquan Cousins is taken out for Stanthony Nelms. A couple of hard dribbles as Jalen White looks to make both free throws. Second one, good. 42-33, a 9-point game. 2:44 remaining. Here's Gage Yesbeck, darts into Reed. His layup no good, follows the shot, puts it on the deck, off the glass, misses again, got it again, going back for the third time, missed but fouled. Reed refused to go down, and this time he'll have 2 shots. Well, it's going to be tough for Tyquan Reed to win that battle in the low post. He's not the tallest Bluefield College Ram, but he draws Darian Patterson into his second foul, and now he will shoot 2. 42-33, the 9-point lead in jeopardy as Reed eyes the rim and shoots his first. Clocks through the 10, nothing but net. It's 43-33. 2:34 first half. Well, the second shot going for Taekwon. Rams return to the floor, leading by 14 after the three swishes through from Jeremiah Jenkins. Up on an AAC opponent here in Montreat, North Carolina. The shot does not fall for Darian Patterson. A rebound for Bluefield, and now a foul called on the Rams after Jorge Concepcion hit the three. But then he ran straight into Terrell Sheffy, so it's an offensive foul. And now Concepcion is in the books with his first foul. So Jorge Concepcion, a guy that's hit a couple of threes in this game, still sending Montreat to the line. Here's Zach Davis. Davis threads the ball, shoots, misses, but a whistle called, and now Bluefield able to get the ball back. Violation. Still leading 47-33. Point lead with 1:54 left to go in the first half. Jeremiah Jenkins passes right over to Taekwon Reed. Bluefield has been on 2 feet. Should have had that one. Here comes Terrell Sheffy with 1.5 left to go. Bumps into Jeremiah Jenkins. That'll be a foul on the Bluefield point guard as the whistles. Still, though, the Rams operating with a 14-point lead. As Jeremiah Jenkins will be booked with his second foul. First shot, around the cup and falls away. Sean Robinson re-entering the game. Jeremiah Jenkins taken off with his second foul. Clock is stopped at 1:24. Second one, yes. Montreat cuts it down to 13. It's 47-34. 1:20 remaining. Sean Robinson starts to camp out near the scorer's table on the far end of the court. 1:15 remaining in the game as Robinson zips into Gage Esbeck. Bounces to Stanthony Nelms. Reverse layup doesn't go. And a rebound under the bucket by Davis for Montreat. Going coast to nothing. If you touch this button, though, Halftime update for the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bluefield leads 51-37. What a great scoring effort from everyone on the floor. All but one Bluefield Ram that has entered the game has scored a point. That's Olatunji Ebefemi. Bluefield with two players with 9 points, both David Tripp as well as Tyquan Reed, both of them with 9. Bluefield from 3, 7 of 15, but on the floor shooting 14 of 35. Montreat College just not creating as many chances for themselves with 11 of 22. They do have 10 turnovers, Bluefield with just 2 turnovers. So what a big day for Bluefield's offense, being able to capitalize on the turnovers off of Montreat College. One player for the Cavaliers in double figures, it's Jalen White with 12 points. Right behind him, Jerron Hemphill, who has 8. Bluefield, though, still leading by 14, just about 2 minutes before we resume play here at McAllister Gymnasium. Rams looking for a big AAC win. It's the number 4 team in the AAC against the number 3 team in the conference here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Rams just about ready to go. They lead by 14, 51-37, ready to start the second half. Bailey Engel, glad to have you here on the Rams Digital Sports Network for the rest of the road games this year. I will be on the call traveling with the basketball teams, but really happy to be here for the first one that I've gone to. And the Rams men's team has looked pretty darn good in this one. They lead by 14, 51-37. Rams now will go right to left, and they will start with the ball. Naquan Cousins, Jeremiah Jenkins, Tyquan Reed, Donnell Gooch, and Damon Childress. That starting lineup for Bluefield once again returning to start out the second half as well. Jeremiah Jenkins going across midcourt. It's been a hostile environment here at McAllister Gym. Jenkins into the left wing, right in front of that student section. Looking for someone to pass it to. Zips down low to Cousins. Two-handed posterizing dunk right over Jerron Hemphill. What a way to start out the second half. Bluefield now up by 16, their largest lead of the game. Or rather, nearly there, as the Rams led by 17 with 25 seconds left to go in the first half. Top of the key, Jalen White, the only man in double figures for Montreat. Swings out to Caldwell. His three from the corner, too short. And a rebound for Donnell Gooch on the left side. Well, now the Rams going with Jeremiah Jenkins as the point guard. He's been the primary point guard for about the second half of the season. His pass to Childress tipped out of bounds off the hands of Caldwell. Bluefield will have an inbounds right in front of their head coach, Richard Morgan. Not going with a tie in this game, rather wearing a blue Bluefield polo. Tyquan Reed trying to inbounds and swings it up top over to Jeremiah Jenkins. Pass into Damon Childress in the corner. Dart into the left block for Naquan Cousins. Hook shot with a right hand. He scored the first 4 points of the half for Bluefield. 55-37. There's your largest lead at 18 points. 18:55 on the clock in the second half. So now for Naquan Cousins, he's in double figures with 11. Hook shot on the other end for Jerron Hemphill also falls short. Bluefield with a rebound. Jeremiah Jenkins back over to Naquan Cousins. And now Damon Childress. He has 2 threes in the first half, ready to go in the second half. Tyquan Reed zips right wing over to Jeremiah Jenkins. Naquan Cousins D'd up by Hemphill. His fadeaway jumper just swirls around the cup and doesn't fall. Alonzo Mobley with a rebound as Terrence Sheffy pops a three in transition. Nothing but net. That gets Montreat and their fans back into it. 15-point lead for the Rams, 55-40. 18-12 remaining in the second half. Jeremiah Jenkins is trying to slow this one down as he lobs it over into the far corner for Taekwon Reed. Pump fake, Jenkins zips over to Childress. Three from the wing. Too short. Rebound, Sheffy. Well, now for Damon Childress, the big man trying to shoot from three. Now 2 of 4 as the three falls on the other end for Jalen White on the far end of the court. Timeout called by Richard Morgan as Montreat scores a quick 6 points to make it a 12-point game, 55-43. Well, after the three, Bluefield is still up by 12. It's 55-43, even after Montreat starts to channel some WWE flair after saying yes like Daniel Bryan. They got to wipe up the sweat on the far baseline. Bluefield up by 12 after Naquan Cousins scored the first 4 points of the half thanks to a dunk, as well as a hook shot. The athlete for Bluefield now in double figures with 11 points. Childress, Jeremiah Jenkins, Jorge Concepcion now onto the floor, replacing Taekwon Reed, and Donnell Gooch will be the big man for Bluefield. Whistle blows and Naquan Cousins will inbounds inside to Jorge Concepcion. A pump fake as Concepcion, the guard, will take it up to Donnell Gooch. Zips over to Cousins. Corner three. Yes! 7 points for Naquan Cousins, all in the second half. 58-43, 15-point lead for the Rams. Lob into Alonzo Mobley, storming down the left block. Layup good with a foul. Haymakers being thrown on either end of the floor. Basketball-wise, of course, not real fights. But now it is 58-45 with a free throw coming up from Alonzo Mobley. Shot for Mobley, nothing but net. And Montreat just keeps easing their way back into the game. Even when they're down by 12 points at 58-46, it feels like it's just a one-possession game. Childress lost the ball and tips it back out to Jeremiah Jenkins. On the left side, Concepcion feeds Gooch, shoots from the elbow, and rattles it through the tin. All the shots falling for Bluefield as Donnell Gooch gets on the board in the second half. Now the big man for the Rams has 4 points. Swings back out to Jalen White, scoops the left hand, misses the layup. Rebound snatched by Cousins. Jenkins outlets Damon Childress, bounce to Donnell Gooch, pinballed in the lane, but fouled by Terrence Sheffy. So it could have been a turnover right there, but Gooch luckily fouled by Terrence Sheffy, and now that'll prompt an inbound for Bluefield. Jeremiah Jenkins will send the ball in. David Tripp checks in for Damon Childress. Rams really clicking on all cylinders as they lead 60-46. Jenkins on the right side of the basket, struggling to find someone to pass it to. Lobs it into Jorge Concepcion near corner. Swings top of the key. Tripp launches a tray, swirls around the tin and falls through. 63-46, a 17-point lead for Bluefield. All the threes falling. Naquan Cousins as well as David Tripp, both hitting trays in the second half. As Terrence Sheffy shuffles towards the left wing, swings out right side to Jerron Hemphill. Hard head fake as he passes right side over to Jalen White. Skates in the lane. Layup, no good, but fouled as he was hacked hard by the Rams. That will be another foul for David Tripp, his third. Stops the clock at 16:30. Score is 63-46. It'll be 2 shots for Jalen White, as White goes to the free throw line for the second time. He's 2 of 2 today.
16 and a half minutes remaining as Bluefield confidently operates in this game. First shot for White follows. So the young man from Charlotte, North Carolina makes it once again a 16-point game at 63-47. The Rams men looking for a win before their game on Wednesday against Bryan. As White bends the knees and shoots, he scores. 63-48, 15-point lead for Bluefield. Jeremiah Jenkins, freshman from Norfolk, Virginia, with incredible poise, taking the ball across midcourt. A guy that's so young that still runs the ball well for Bluefield. Lob up to Cousins, alley-oop again. Second time they've drained the alley. Pass goes out of bounds. Bluefield triggered Montreat so much that the inbounds pass just went straight out of bounds. Timeout called by Montreat. Garrett Jones and Montreat are absolutely reeling. And now the Rams lead 65-48 with a timeout. 16-12 remaining. Off of the alley-oop, the Rams lead 65-48, a 17-point deficit, and a tall task at that for Montreat. Well, the Rams looking to make it 2 straight AAC wins in this one. And after the alley-oop to Naquan Cousins, who already has 9 points in the second half. And pass inbounds for Jeremiah Jenkins. Terrence Sheffy kind of bumped into that Bluefield huddle right there at the timeout. Feed into Donnell Gooch. Jenkins with a step-back 3. No good. Following for his rebound, and Jenkins just snatched in on side of Terrence Sheffy, which prompts a foul. So now his third personal, 16:07 remaining. Still a 17-point lead for the Rams, 65-48. This might be one of the better showings on the road for Bluefield this season. 65-48. Now checking in for the Rams, Sean Robinson. And you saw Terrell Sheffy go off of the floor, accidentally bump into Sean Robinson. He's just a sophomore from Hampton. Still wiping the sweat off of the floor. This has been a physical game, but Bluefield, all the shots falling in the second half. Naquan Cousins with 9 points. Even Donnell Gooch hit a 15-footer. Now to inbounds, it'll be David Caldwell, likely to feed in Jerron Hemphill. That student section near midcourt has been eerily silent in the second half after Bluefield has came out guns a-blazing. Taking the ball across, it's Jerron Hemphill acting as a forward guard combo. Backing in towards the baseline, swings out to Caldwell, shooting, scores. Hits it from the left wing, and now Montreat has 51 points, 65-51. Concepcion taking the ball across the timeline. Rams still trying to find a way to answer to every Montreat triple in this game. Out of a double team, Concepcion dribbles into the right wing. Now the top of the key, down the lane, flares out Robinson, shoots from the near corner, swishes the 3 with a foul. Sean Robinson on fire after Terrell Sheffy nearly tackled the point guard. Everything falling for Bluefield, 68-51. 4-point play coming up. If Sean Robinson can hit this free throw. 15:30 remaining in the second half. All good for Bluefield. Shot goes in. 69-51, 18-point lead for the Rams. 15 and a half minutes to go. And Montreat starting to run out of answers if the shots continue to drain for Bluefield. Well, for Sean Robinson, didn't light it up in that first half. That's just 6 points for him, but what a way to do it. into the right wing. Here's Jalen White, top of the key, shuffles down the lane, spins, layup, no good, front rim, rebound, Stan Knowles. Looked like Montreat wanted a foul there after all the physical touching. Robinson, coast to coast, blocked, put back, trying to find it, Naquan Cousins, but instead he is fouled. And the first foul actually called on Jalen White, third team foul. And it is 69-51. Bluefield on fire in the second half. Naquan Cousins shooting 2 as he misses the front end of the first one. Now bringing in a new player, Sean Doman. Now Naquan Cousins eyeing the 10, bends the knees and shoots. Nothing but net. 70-51, a 19-point lead for Bluefield. Dwan Perry in for the first time as well. Junior transfer coming out of Carson Newman Community College. He's matched up with Sean Doman. Bluefield going with a full court press, 15:08 left to go. And a pass into a new point guard. It's Shad Blanton. Actually has dissed that headband that we saw him have in the first half. Hands off left wing, Doman. Going back top of the key, Dwan Perry still picks him up off a screen. Caldwell going down the lane, dribbles, picks up his shot, and fouled on the layup. So here comes 2 shots from David Caldwell. Well, Bluefield still looking good, 70-51, nearly leading by 20. And they won their last game by 31, but this would mean a little bit more. Now, Montreat, take it as you will, a team that is still reeling. They're ranked number 12 in the country, so after losing 4 in a row, Bluefield trying to hand them their 5th straight loss. Couple of bounces. Shot. It falls for David Caldwell. It's now 70-52. Thanks everybody tuning in here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. We're going to have video on Wednesday when the Rams take on Bryan College. Over the audio only for the rest of the year on these road games. As Caldwell shoots with the right hand and scores. 70-53, a 17-point game. Robinson running the point for Bluefield. Takes the ball across that Montreat logo as the Rams still set up with a confident offense. Dishing the ball around. Reed trading it around with Sean Robinson. Feeds into Nelms on the left elbow. Swings out Reed. Near corner. Pump fake. Feed into Yespek. Hook shot too short. Rebound for Hemphill. Going the other way. Here's Montreat left to right. As Sean Doman with a hard bounce delivers it over to David Caldwell. Robinson slipped up 3. No good. As Montreat was about to get out of the building. Here's Caldwell bumping in the lane. A block called as D'Anthony Nelms went down on the floor trying to flop. The Rams wanted a charge, but instead it'll be 2 shots for Jerron Hemphill. Going back to that 3-point attempt, it looked like Caldwell was about to cross Robinson out of his shoes. It won't be a shooting foul, mind you, as he did not go up for the shot. 70-53, long lob into Blanton in the left wing, cuts in the paint, swing down low, Hemphill, reverse layup, yes. 70-55, Rams still lead by 15 inside this loud, very tough to play in McAllister Gym. Rams working the ball around the perimeter. Tyquan Reed for 3, back iron, rebound Jerron Hemphill. Clapped on the left side of the basket. Here comes Hemphill, hands off Caldwell, left wing. Going down the baseline with the floater, no. But he's fouled by Dwan Perry as it looks like Caldwell is a little bit torn up under the basket right by that padding that says Montreat College Cavaliers. Rams still lead by 15, 70-55. 13:48 remaining. So now Caldwell returns to the line. Caldwell misses the first of the 2 free throws. Gage Esbeck taken off. Naquan Cousins back in. He already has 9 points in the second half. So for Cousins, he has 16. Caldwell shoots and scores. 70-56. Rams still up by 14 here in Montreat. Sean Robinson taking the ball across midcourt. Passes right wing. Tyquan Reed off a pump fake, darting the ball around. Cousins lost the ball. Picked away by Blanton. Rare turnover for Naquan Cousins, especially in the second half. 13.5 minutes remain. A bounce in the left wing for Sean Doman. Cross-court lob on the near side over to Blanton. Pops from 5 and misses from the baseline, but fouled on his way there. That's the second foul on Sean Robinson. So now Blanton trying to get Montreat back into it, still believing here as the first shot bounces through after it hit the flange on the back iron. Now good. So now 70-57, a bit of a run for Montreat, still trailing by 13, but you got to remember, it seems like every time Montreat gets within 12, it appears that they're breathing down Bluefield's neck. Now they're within 12. 70-58 as the second falls for Shad Blanton. 13-17 remaining. Bluefield in transition. Dewan Perry, right wing, Boston's top corner. Now on the side. Perry lobs over to the near court for Jorge Concepcion. 13 to shoot. Perry near the midcourt line. Right side. Dells for 3. Battle's no good. Ball's around by David Caldwell on the near side. Here comes Caldwell, zigzag in the lane, lost the ball off of the hands of himself, Caldwell. But he lost the ball off of the hands of the Rams, and other official comes in to rule the call. So Bluefield will not have it. Now an inbound for Montreat, 12:54 remaining in the game. It's 70-58. And now Alonzo Mobley looking for a way to get back into this one. Mobley trying to chuck it down court, and he will with Bowman. Or Doman rather, as he dishes top of the key. Over to Shad Blanton in the left wing now. Pump fake, finds help in Doman. 15 to shoot, he feeds it back over to Blanton. Now they're trying to work the perimeter offense. Bluefield cuts the shot clock down to 10. Mobley from long range. Front rim, he missed. Rebound, Jorge Concepcion. Rams don't move in transition as well as Montreat does, but here comes Dewan Perry, annihilated as he went into the rim, but now he'll have 2 shots. So Dewan Perry jumped up on the right side of the basket and then was swatted away. So now he'll have 2 shots. That's the 3rd foul on Alonzo Mobley. And a team 7th foul. So Bluefield already in the bonus with 12.5 minutes remaining. First shot for Perry. Swirls around the cup and falls far right. Well, for Dewan Perry, a guy coming off the bench in these last couple of games. Not that great from the free throw line. 70%. Second shot for him this time. True through the net. 71-58. Quiets that Montreat run just a tad bit, but Cavaliers back within 13. Taking the ball up, Jerron Hemphill right in front of his coach. Garrett Jones cuts in, backs out. Now pressured by Naquan Cousins. Lobs into Mobley, puts it on the deck, off the left block, misses the layup. Tip into the hands of Hemphill. His shot, no good, but foul. And Montreat starting to find the rhythm in this game where they just drive in, pick up a foul, and force Bluefield into this bonus situation. That's the 8th foul and the 4th one for Stan Nelms. Jerron Hemphill to the line. And this team fighting their way back, and Montreat really in desperate need of a win. As the first shot rattles through the tin. (71-59). As Hemphill, a guy that comes out of Caldwell Community College teammates with Sean Robinson. hits the second shot to make it 71-60. So both of these guys playing at the NAIA level, and both of them coming out of North Carolina. Naquan Cousins feeds into Taekwon Reed, 71-60. A 19-point lead for the Rams that has dwindled down to 11. At the top of the key, here's Juwan Perry. Crossover dribble, feeds Cousins. Cousins dishes into Reed, puts it on the deck, back out up top to Perry. No look pass to Cousins, right wing three. Back iron, tipped in the air, loose ball, still loose. Drawn Hemphill picks it up near midcourt. One arm dart over to Shad Blanton, almost lost it, which forces Montreat to slow down. 11:40 now. Here comes Mobley, bumping in the lane, draws a foul, and that will bring Mobley back to the line for a 1-and-1. That's the third foul on Gage Jesbeck. A 1-and-1 for Mobley. The fans' hands in the air. He misses the shot. Rebound for Teron Hemphill. Darts it back into Mobley. His layup, no good. Rebound, Gage Jesbeck. So after he fouled, he was still able to get the board. Juwan Perry dishes left side to Taekwon Reed. Skating in the lane, lost the ball. Picked up by Jorge Concepcion, and Bluefield will now slow it down. 11:20 remaining in the game. The Rams still lead by 11 as Alonzo Mobley failed to hit any of the 1-and-1. Concepcion swings out to Perry, pops from 15, no good on the mid-range jumper, and a rebound falls for Austin Butler. And now the guard coming off of the bench for Montreat passes over to Teron Hemphill, feeds back to Butler, launches a three, nothing but net. 71-63, an 8-point game. Jeremiah Jenkins called back in. If the buzzer sounds soon, Jorge Concepcion passes back to Perry. Crowd now on their feet here in McAllister Gymnasium. Feeds Perry down the lane, swings out Reed from three from the right wing. Silences the crowd with the tray. 74-63, back up to an 11-point game with 10:29 remaining in the game. Mobley feeds Butler, pro-length jumper, no good. Rebound, Naquan Cousins snatching it right in front of Sean Doman. Now Bluefield with that commanding 11-point lead after the three made by Taekwon Reed can give Bluefield a little bit more breathing room. 10:10 remaining. Taekwon Reed just trading the ball around with Concepcion. Here's Perry, cross-court lob, Reed. Here's his three, yes! 77-63, the lead back up to 14, and a quick 6 points, all scored for Reed. Straight into the right wing, feeding over to Butler and trading the ball around the perimeter. Pass down low into Alonzo Mobley as Gage Jesbeck draped over the Montreat forward. That'll be Gage Jesbeck's fourth foul. Fourth personal foul for Jesbeck. Is now Alonzo Mobley. Goes to the line. His first shot somehow goes through as it tips around on the hoop. 9:47 remaining in the game now. It is now 77-64. And Montreat playing with all the energy fueled by their home crowd. Bluefield trying to play through that. Second shot for Mobley. Rattles in. 77-65. Rams lead by 12. Timeout called by Montreat. 9:47 remaining. Rams looking to hold down the Cavaliers. Back inside McAllister Gymnasium, the Rams lead by 12. It is 77-65 with 9:47 remaining in the game. Bluefield confidently operating in this one. Going down the floor, here's Jorge Concepcion. as he toes across midcourt. Rams have really kicked it up offensively. They led by as much as 19 as Montreat fought it back down to 8. Top of the key once again, Jeremiah Jenkins lobs in the right corner to Jorge Concepcion. Dart back to Jenkins, trading the ball around now with 10 to shoot. The point guard with possession. Dish on the right side, Concepcion eyeing the rim, 5 to shoot, feeds Reed, launches a 3. Yes! Taekwon Reed with 3 straight triples, 15-point lead for the Rams. 9:13 remaining in the game as Teron Hemphill tries to cut it back down. Mobley with a spin move, hook shot, draws a foul. So still at 80-65. That's the second foul rather on DeJuan Perry. (80-65). 9:07 remaining in the game. It's going to be a pass, or a couple of shots rather, for Alonzo Mobley. And if Mobley can start hitting these free throws with regularity, it'll be tough for Bluefield to really coast the rest of this game. But luckily, as you see there, Mobley hits or misses the first one. So still a 15-point lead for the Rams. Taekwon Reed and Naquan Cousins, really the stars of the second half. Taekwon Reed has scored the last 9 points for Bluefield after the game was cut down to 8. The guard from North Carolina has spawned its way back to a 15-point lead. Second shot falls for Alonzo Mobley, and it is now 80-66. 9 minutes remaining as the Rams try to pick up a road win. Taekwon Reed going across midcourt, pressured at midcourt by Sean Doman. He'll hand it off to Jeremiah Jenkins right in front of Richard Morgan. Passes right Donnell Gooch, who enters into the game. Taekwon Reed in the right wing, a pump fake, and starts to jog towards the top of the key. 7 to shoot, steps into a long 2 from the elbow, miss. One-arm rebound for Alonzo Mobley. Naquan Cousins tried to slam it home but couldn't get the ball. Chad Blanton, dart up top to Teron Hemphill, and the 3 does not fall for Alonzo Mobley from the top of the key. And here's Jeremiah Jenkins going across midcourt. 8:23 left to go. Well, Jenkins taking the ball right in front of Bluefield's head coach Richard Morgan, who has this guard line up here. Jenkins eyeing the rims, pops from the free throw line, nothing but net. Cecil counted, he wanted a foul. 82-66, the lead back to 16 with 8:05 left on the game clock. Montreat hoping for an open lane here like they saw in the first half, but Bluefield's defense has been really steel tough going down the line. Teron Hemphill darts back into Alonzo Mobley. Reverse layup, clonks off the window and goes in. 82-68. Bluefield still up by 14. Going up the ball across midcourt. Here's Jorge Concepcion underhanding it to Taekwon Reed. Jeremiah Jenkins looking for an open shot. Underhands Concepcion, a 3 from the right wing. Far left, tipped out of bounds as Naquan Cousins almost slides into the press box here. And still, Bluefield fails to keep the ball in bounds after Cousins went out, sliding on the sweaty hardcourt. 82-68, a 14-point lead for the Rams. 7:23 remaining in the game. Teron Hemphill trying to storm his Cavaliers back. Passes left, loose ball, stolen by Jeremiah Jenkins. Race to the hoop, layup, swatted away as Hemphill surged it back over to Jalen White. Outlets up to Doman, layup, yes. Bluefield is slipping everywhere. 82-70. The sweat really all over this line as it looked like Sean Robinson almost slammed in. So a 12-point lead for the Rams. Donnell Gooch on the left wing feeds over to Concepcion in the corner. Off a screen, his pass tipped and stolen by Jalen White. 6:43, Montreat with life. The point. Passes left to Doman, goes down the lane. Euro step, hook shot, no good. Rebound hauled in by Naquan Cousins. Elbows all around as Sean Robinson, or rather Jeremiah Jenkins, beats to Jorge Concepcion. Fouled hard, and rather, that's going to be an offensive foul on Jorge Concepcion. The charge drawn as Chad Blanton went down on the hardcourt hard. That's Jorge Concepcion, second foul, 82-70, 6:28 remaining. Shad Blanton jogging in front of midcourt. Garrett Jones and Montreat hoping to end this 4-game losing streak. Blanton kicks out top of the key to Alonzo Mobley. Dart down low. Jerron Hemphill with the spin and the kiss off the window. 10-point game once again, 82-72. And this is when Bluefield really needs a good shot as Jenkins goes right into a timeout to Richard Morgan. 10-point lead, 6:06 remaining. Rams lead 82-72. Montreat has fought their way back into this one, folks. 82-72. It'll be an inbounds pass over to Taekwon Reed as he crowds the ball at the top of the key. Going down the lane, his floater tipped but fouled. And much to the dismay of these Montreat College fans, Taekwon Reed will return to the charity stripe with 2 shots. And you can't emphasize enough, they have that home court advantage because the gym has the bleachers so close to the court, and they're even closer than the bleachers back of the dome in Bluefield. And these fans are into it. Taekwon Reed eyeing the rim. Long stare, first shot, front rim. He missed. So now Taekwon Reed trying to make it an 11-point game like he did earlier with the 3-pointer. Second foul shot. He missed them both. Rebound, Sean Doman. Going back the other way, here's Montreat with a chance to cut this one down to a single-digit lead. 5:52 remaining in this game. An AAC contest between the number 3 team in the conference against the number 4 team in the conference. Jalen White dishes right side over to Hemphill. Lob down low. Donnell Gooch got a hand on it and punched the ball out of bounds. Lonzo Mobley, the intended target. Now with 10 on the shot clock, Stanthony Nelms will come into the game. He has 4 fouls already, as does Gage Yesbeck. So 2 of the forwards for Bluefield, both racking up the fouls. Inbounds pass to Jalen White with 8 to shoot. Here's Jerron Hemphill, top of the key. Slings it out left. Sean Doman for 3. Front rim, no good. Donnell Gooch wrestled for the rebound, came down with the ball, loose, and it went out of bounds off of the hands of Montreat. So now the Rams will have an inbounds pass with 5:27 left to go. What a break for Bluefield, forcing Montreat to use the entire shot clock, and they still couldn't get a good look. That's the defensive intensity that Richard Morgan really wanted. At the top, he hands off to Taekwon Reed, just circling the ball around. Jenkins from the right wing. Cross-court lob. Reed, left wing, 12 to shoot. Going down the lane, one-arm pass, Jenkins. Corner 3. Yes! Jeremiah Jenkins makes it 85-72. 5 minutes left to go as Jerron Hemphill and Montreat search for answers. Mobley feeds Hemphill on a loose pass. Spins towards the basket and scoops with the left hand on the layup. 85-74, 11 points. The difference between the Rams and Montreat. The Cavaliers have trailed from double figures for most of this game. As Reed passes up top to Naquan Cousins. Here comes Jenkins, a foul on the other side by Shad Blanton. And it was off the ball, so that will just be the 6th Montreat foul. So Bluefield will still have an inbounds pass after this. So the referee blew another whistle. It looks like it will be an inbounds pass for the Rams. The ball back out. Tyquan Reed almost looked like he was flirting with a technical there. And Tyquan Reed will pass on the near sideline, right in front of that Montreat student section. Kicks it into the backcourt for Jeremiah Jenkins. Now a foul on the other end. Shad Blanton, Donnell Gooch trying to send him to the line for a 1-and-1. It's now a 1-on-1 for Donnell Gooch. And Gooch, a guy that doesn't get to the free throw line a lot. Just 17 attempts this year. He is 7 of 17. So Gooch towing to the line. Transfer from Clarendon College. Now with a chance to make this a 12-point game or a 13-point game. Front end of the 1-and-1. Nothing but net. And Donnell Gooch makes it 86-74. And after he followed through on that, you could tell how confident he really was. Second shot. Gooch hits both of the free throws. 87-74. David Tripp checking back in for Donnell Gooch. A couple of big free throws. Welcomed by Richard Morgan with a hug on the bench. A couple of clutch free throws made as the ball will roll for Jalen White. 4.5 minutes exactly on the clock. 87-74. Rams trying to hold off Montreat. Ton of energy though for the Cavaliers. Bounce pass up top for Ron Hemphill. Skates into the left side, passes top of the key. Blanton zips left wing over to Jalen White. The lob in the corner with 15 to shoot. Pass down low to Doman through a double team. Absolutely blocked by Naquan Cousins. Here come the Rams in transition. David Tripp steps into a layup and scores. Quick 2 points for the Connecticut native. 89-74. 15-point lead for Bluefield. Jalen White Euro step bumps into Stanthony Nelms. Basket falls with no foul. So now 89-76. 13 points the deficit. And these teams starting to get gassed as Tyquan Reed is right in front of us in the corner with his hands on his knees. Meanwhile, Tripp for three. Misses from the far corner. 13-point lead. 3:38. The time left in the game. And now Jalen White steps into a tray, sinks the triple to make it a 10-point game again. 79-89. Jeremiah Jenkins stressing that Bluefield just stays calm as he takes the ball across midcourt. Anthony Nelms in the left wing. A couple of hard dribbles, feeds Tripp, looks back at his coach and calls a timeout. 3:12 on the clock, 15 on the shot clock. Rams lead by 10 in this back and forth game, even though Bluefield has led by double digits for most of the second half. Montreat knocking on the door here at McAllister Gym. Rams lead by 10. It is 89-79. As Montreat, in front of a packed crowd at McAllister Gymnasium, hopes to come back in this one. Bluefield has led by as much as 19. Pass inbounds for Taekwon Reed, 13 on the shot clock. Reed right in front of Richard Morgan in the Bluefield bench. Starts to cut back out, 7. David Tripp from the left elbow, pump fake, and he walks. It's out of the timeout. Bluefield turns the ball over after David Tripp dragged that foot. And Montreat has a chance to cut this one into a single-digit deficit. 3 remaining. 89-79. Letting the ball roll to conserve that clock as Jalen White will let the ball go nearly all the way to the logo before he picks it up. Going right in front of Jeremiah Jenkins, a hard pass to Austin Butler in the left wing. Goes for the layup and scores. Off the left block, it is now 89-81. Montreat once again cuts it back down to a single-digit lead, and you can hear that student section. Jorge Concepcion trading it around. Here's Stanthony Nelms, feeds over to Taekwon Reed. The 3, too short. Rebound, Austin Butler. 89-81, 2:35 now on the clock. Hemphill feeds Mobley, tripped up and fouled. Mobley was likely to go in for another layup. And that's Taekwon Reed's first foul with 2:33 left to go. (89-81). Mobley has struggled from the stripe. His first shot clocks around and goes through the nylon. Now a 7-point game. Bluefield starting to sweat here with 2:33 remaining. Rams have provided Montreat with a double bonus. Here's Mobley. Hits both free throws. 6-point game now, just 2 possessions. 89-83. Rams nearly led by 20. 2.5 minutes to go. Jenkins right in front of midcourt. Montreat trying to make that 4-game losing streak a thing of the past. Pass over to Jorge Concepcion on the right wing. Feeds top of the key to Taekwon Reed. Pump fake and a pass over to Jenkins on the far sideline. Back over to Jorge Concepcion, right wing, 5 to shoot. Concepcion feeds into Nelms. Over to David Tripp. Shot at the buzzer. He missed. Put back falls. 91-83, David Tripp. His first layup swirled around the cup, hit the rim. Loose ball on the other end, though. Alonzo Mobley, kick out right side. Butler for 3. Almost hit the roof as he missed, but now it's picked up. Here comes Montreat again. Jalen White, after getting the basketball cross-court lob. Here's Butler with another 3. Far left, rebound Jalen White. Put back falls. 91-85, 6-point lead. A bounce pass to Jorge Concepcion. Crossover dribble straight to the hoop. Layup missed. Rebound for Alonzo Mobley. Outlets up to Deron Hemphill. Here's Jalen White. Layup falls. 4-point game now, 91-87. Timeout called. 1:16 left to go in this game. Montreat has the backing of their entire crowd to cut this to a 4-point game. When we come back here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Rams will return to the floor up by just 4 points. 1:16 left to go. Bluefield is in the 1-and-1 as Montreat has 17 fouls. but Bluefield has led by as much as 19 in the second half. But Montreat behind Jalen White as well as Alonzo Mobley and Jerron Hemphill, the three big stars for the Cavaliers, have fought their way back into the game. Bluefield to inbounds now, full court pressure, pass into Naquan Cousins, and he is hacked going across midcourt by Jalen White. So now it will be a 1-and-1 for Naquan Cousins, stops the clock at 1:12. Just the second personal for Jalen White. And now Naquan Cousins can make this tougher for Montreat College. But of course they're going to make it very difficult for him. First of a 1-and-1. Back iron, rebound David Tripp. Going back up, sinks the layup. That just silences Montreat College. A hard putback for David Tripp. Here's Jalen White. Layup, coast to coast goes. Waste no time, 93-89, a minute left. Bluefield trying to work the ball across midcourt. Here's Jeremiah Jenkins across the timeline, not fouled yet. Bluefield, loose ball, corralled by Stanthony Nelms. Now the Rams just camping out. It looks like Montreat will try to foul. Here's Naquan Cousins. Bounce pass to David Tripp. Hook shot falls with the foul. Austin Butler with the block as David Tripp hits the and one to put Bluefield up 95-89. 41 seconds left, and that one might have sucked all the air out of McAllister Gym. There's David Tripp from the free throw line. His shot. Back iron, no good. Rebound, Alonzo Mobley. 95-89 though, 37 seconds. Jerron Hemphill into the left wing. Underhands to Butler. Left corner three. Nothing but net. 3-point game at 95-92. 31.6 seconds remaining of the game. Another timeout. And we got to take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. After the timeout ends, Bluefield returns to the floor, up 95-92. 31.6 seconds left. Full court press for Montreat. Here come the Rams trying to get the ball across midcourt. Tyquan Reed, bounce pass over to Jeremiah Jenkins in the right wing. Clock is now down to 23 seconds. Jenkins starting to skate around and finally fouled. And for Bluefield, that's your best free throw shooter. So now, that's the second foul on Jalen White. And now Bluefield will have seemingly 2 free throws here. Yes, 2 free throws as they situate this. Jalen White with another foul. Now Jeremiah Jenkins talking with the referees here. They're still pumping in that crowd noise right behind me. 20.1 seconds remaining. 95-92. Rams led by 19, and a bit of a scare here as Montreat has fought their way back in. So Jenkins will shoot 2. The freshman, an 89% free throw shooter. His first. Front rim swirls around and falls away from the basket. He missed. 95-92. So So now Jenkins to try to make this a 4-point game. Bluefield has no rebounders. Second shot goes. 96-92. 20 seconds and ticking. Hemphill taking the ball across midcourt as the Rams lead by 4. On the left side, Jalen White feeds into the corner. Shot good for Cody Slanton. That's just a 2-pointer though. 96 to 94 now. So now with 10 seconds left, another timeout called. Folks, you're just trying to get the scene here. 10 seconds left where they have me right here in the corner. It is hard to see the far end of the court because so much of the student section has crept onto the sideline. And now, pointing their fingers in the air, the Rams still trying to win on the road against a tough Montreat College team. Montreat 15-5, 8-5 in the AAC. Losers of 4 in a row. or 96 to 94 rather. Rams still looking for a way to get this one. And it's going to take some free throws, likely from Jeremiah Jenkins, missing 1 of 2 of those last ones. So 10 seconds and Montreat is popping. Bailey Engel, happy to have you here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It's been a tough one for Bluefield in the last couple of minutes of the second half. Now the Rams enter back onto the floor. David Tripp, Naquan Cousins, as well as Taekwon Reed, Jorge Concepcion joining them. And Jeremiah Jenkins onto the floor. Tripp will inbounds. Ten seconds remaining in this game. David Tripp feeds into Jeremiah Jenkins. Almost lost the ball. Travels near midcourt. Ball is loose, out of bounds. Who is it off of? He was not a travel, by the way. They were stumbling near midcourt. 4.9 seconds remaining. Montreat has the ball. 96-94, 4.9 seconds remaining. And Montreat will have a chance at the last shot. Austin Butler on the floor. He's a guy that can hit threes. 96-94 the score. Rams looking to hold on to this one. Richard Morgan still talking it over with the official. And it looks like they're going to try to play here. Rather than foul, 2 shots would be needed for Montreat to tie this game. 96-94, 4.9 seconds remaining. Inbound for Blanton. Feed in over to Mobley. Goes inside. Layup at the buzzer. He's fouled with 1.4 seconds remaining. Mobley will have a chance to tie the game. So this place is about to explode. Mobley needs 2 shots. Meanwhile, that's the 5th foul on David Tripp. 1.4 seconds remaining. Mobley with a chance to tie the game up. His last trip to the line, 2 of 2. Possibly send this one into overtime, but you got to think as well. If he misses the first one, he's going to have to miss the second one on purpose. Tripp taken off of the floor. Here's Stanthony Nelms back on, who has 4 fouls also. So Jerron Hemphill lined up on the right side of the lane to possibly rebound the second shot if it doesn't fall. Here's Mobley. First shot goes through. 96-95 the score. Timeout called by Richard Morgan. And if this shot does not fall, could be a chance for a putback that would bring Montreat back into the lead. Number 12 team in the NAIA. And now the Rams just up by 1. They were leading by 19 in this game. Looking for a crucial road victory. What a game, though. Montreat with such tenacity. A team that really thinks it's make it or break it time, especially with 4 losses in a row, being a 3rd in the AAC. These two teams are pretty evenly matched. And now the Rams lead by just one. Alonzo Mobley has to make this free throw to try to send it into overtime. With a miss, Bluefield has to try to fight for that rebound, as now Mobley will try to tie this up. 96-95, both teams meeting, talking about the possibilities of what's supposed to happen in this game. They have the speakers right by the crowd and right behind where they have me set up with my broadcast equipment. Whistle blows, teams re-enter the floor. 96-95, Rams lead with 1.4 seconds remaining. Here's Alonzo Mobley. He's been the leading point scorer for this team all year. Everyone on their feet here in Montreat. Mobley shoots, makes it. High ball game. Cousins to inbound. Jenkins from half court. No good. We're going to overtime. 96-96, and there will be an extra period to decide this game. Going to take a break here. What an incredible fight by Montreat. 5 more minutes in North Carolina. Ready to go. Overtime, 96-96. The Rams led by as much as 19 in the second half. Had a defensive stance right there at the end, but David Tripp fouled Alonzo Mobley as he tips the ball in Austin Butler. Bluefield operating with Stan Cousins as well as Jorge Concepcion. Jalen White feeds Butler. Rebound now for Stanton Elm. Step in, a layup. Got it on the second chance, and Bluefield on the board in overtime. 102-98. 3.5 minutes remaining in this extra period. A tough game. His 4th foul. And now Stanton Elms will go to the charity stripe. His team down by 4. It is 102-98. Nelms, first free throw. Yes. 1-99 now. The Rams trying to cut it down to a 2-point deficit. It's at 3 here. 2:53 remaining in the over. Here's Stanton Elms. Hits both free throws. Now the Rams scored 100. Gage Jesbeck back into the game. He has 4 fouls as well, as Anthony Nelms goes off of the floor. Taking the ball across with a 2-point lead. Here comes Montreat in Jerron Hemphill. Straight into the left wing, 2:44 remaining. Underhands to Austin Butler. He's hit 2 threes in the overtime. Butler feeds Hemphill top of the key. On the left side here, Slanton. Bounce pass down low to Mobley. Reverse layup, falls with a foul. Alonzo Mobley. And this place is about to erupt. Bluefield not out of it yet. It's 104-100. But if momentum is a real thing in basketball, you got to be kidding if Bluefield has any right now. It's all with Montreat. Stanton Elms back into the game. Gage Jesbeck taken off with his 5th foul. 2:34 remaining in the overtime. A bounce pass to Alonzo Mobley. He's taken over the game in the second half. His shot falls through. 5-point lead for the Cavaliers over the Rams with 2.5 minutes remaining. Feed over to Stanthony Nelms, straight into the right wing. Storms in the lane, scoops with the right hand, off the glass and in. Rams wasting no time with Stanthony Nelms. He scored all of the points in the overtime for Bluefield. 102 to 105 now in the left wing. Here comes Jerron Hemphill, passes Butler, shoots for 3. Too hard, rebound Nae'Qwan Cousins. That's the first 3 Butler has missed in the overtime. Now with 2 minutes, Stanthony Nelms steps into a long 2, nothing but net. Rams cut it down to a 1-point lead, 105-104. Nelms, the hot man, on fire. Loose ball, picked away by Jeremiah Jenkins, going across midcourt. Lob over to Taekwon Reed. Here's Concepcion, stepped out of bounds. And that is really something that'll let the air out of Bluefield. And now Richard Morgan, getting into the face of the official, has to threaten to have a technical here as he keeps talking with the referee. The idea is that Butler may have tripped Jorge Concepcion, but he's not trying to give them 2 easy points. It's 105-104 with 1:47 remaining in the overtime. Lob in from Butler over to Jerron Hemphill. That was a golden opportunity squandered by Bluefield. Here's Hemphill from midcourt as he starts to veer left. 1:36 remaining as Nae'Qwan Cousins and his Bluefield Rams need a stop. On the left side, here's Hemphill, feeds top of the key, White, 10 to shoot. On the defense, Taekwon Reed. White from the free throw line, hits the shot, 107-104. Bluefield down by 3. Stanthony Nelms on the right wing. 1:13 left to go in the overtime. Here's Stanthony Nelms, spins in the lane, layup with the right hand, no good. Tip, no good again on the putback. And now Montreat with all the command with just a minute remaining in the overtime. Lob in the left block. Mobley with a pump fake. Storms in the lane. Draws a charge. Stanthony Nelms does it again. And now Mobley has fouled out of the game. Stanthony Nelms, say what you will about those last 2 shots, but now, apologize for the technical difficulty, folks. Jeremiah Jenkins just tied the game up with a contested 3. And now Jerron Hemphill will go to the line to shoot 2. Hemphill, that will shut the shot clock off. And Bluefield hoping that he could possibly miss both here. But still for the Rams, this guarantees them to get the ball back, or at least have a chance to, with 13.3 seconds remaining. Thanks for joining us here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It is 107-107 in the overtime. And it's wrestled another Bluefield. So he was not in 1, but now he will go back to the line in Zachary Davis. 107-107. Taekwon Reed's 3rd foul. Seconds remaining. The referee is just trying to control this game. Still talking this over. Now the Rams arguing they should get the ball back somehow. 12 seconds remain, though. 107-107 in the overtime. Still this long conference, 12 seconds. The shot was missed by Jerron Hemphill. Loose ball, and then a foul called off of the rebound. It's still 107-107, 12 seconds remaining in this overtime. Rams looking for a chance to try to get this back. Either way, if the Rams can't find a way to win this here, it'll be a long ride home. Still a long conference with the officials. And what a crucial time to do it. And this talk has gone on for about 2 minutes now. And now they're trying to talk this over. Bluefield going back to the bench. Rams getting back onto the floor. We're trying to figure out what the referees are thinking here, folks. They're still talking. They're not 100% sure what to do with this game. There was a foul right after the free throw was missed by Jerron Hemphill. Meanwhile, I can't stress this enough, there are fans on the floor for Montreat. There's a couple of gentlemen in front of me that's left foot is literally in play. I mean, this place has lost any source of, or any sense really, of stability here, especially with this long conference. 107-107, 12 seconds remaining in the overtime. Jerron Hemphill appears to be ready to shoot this shot, but there are 10 fouls for either team on either side, and for some reason they're playing the tomahawk chop, even though they're the Cavaliers. That doesn't make any sense. But 12 seconds remain in the game. Still sorting things out. This long conference between the three officials has yet to end at the free throw line. I believe that it was 2 shots. They contested the rebound. They originally told them that there was going to be a 1-and-1 because the players went to try to rebound it, but there are 10 fouls on either side. 12 seconds remain, 107-107. And now the officials talking with both Garrett Jones as well as Richard Morgan. And unfortunately, we probably will not know exactly what is happening right here. Well, thanks for tuning in here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. It's been a fun one. It's been a long one. Rams led by as much as 19 in regulation. And now in overtime, Montreat led by as much as 6. Jeremiah Jenkins with a game-tying 3 just with seconds to go. Now Jerron Hemphill steps back.
The last foul did not count. There'll be one more shot.
Exactly. So what they're saying, the last foul did not count because it was supposed to be 2 shots. So really, this is a great scenario for Bluefield. Jerron Hemphill was not shooting a 1-and-1. He was shooting 1 of 2 foul shots. And now he returns to the line. And now another whistle from the referees looking to try to continue this game. They're going to reinstate 16 seconds on the clock because there were 12. And now Bluefield hoping that they'll get another chance here. It's all tied up at 107-107. Jerron Hemphill went to the line intending to shoot 2. The officials mistakenly told him that he would be shooting a 1-and-1. He missed the first shot. Bluefield then went for the rebounding effort, and in that process, fouled Zachary Davis. So now, as the referees, or the officials rather, realize what they did was wrong, that has delayed the game for a while. So now, rather than reinstate it to 13 seconds, they're going to bring it back down to 13.3. A whistle and a timeout. We got to take a break here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. 107-107. Overtime here at McAllister Gymnasium. So after an entire debacle, Jerron Hemphill returning to the line. His first shot did not fall. The officials treated it as it was a 1-and-1, but it should have been 2 shots. So after the missed first foul shot, Bluefield immediately fouled after they didn't get the rebound. That foul did not count. It should not count. So now 13.3 seconds remaining after nearly a 10-minute delay between the officials trying to figure what happens. Jerron Hemphill returns to the line, tied at 107-107. Hemphill, his shot doesn't fall. Rebound, Naquan Cousins. Bluefield going on the other end of the floor. Here's Jeremiah Jenkins. Underhands over to Sean Robinson. Robinson lobs over to Jenkins, 4 to shoot. At the buzzer, no good. Rebound for Jenkins. Now Robinson, shot at the buzzer. He hit it. Sean Robinson hits the shot at the buzzer, and Bluefield wins in overtime. 109-107. Game is over. What a game after Montreat fought back 19 down, led by 6 in overtime, and the Rams able to win this one 109-107. In front of a stunned crowd, Sean Robinson able to hit the putback off his back foot. What a game for Bluefield as they improve now to 11-6, 7-4 in the AAC, and Montreat falls with their 5th straight loss to 15-6 and 8-6 in the AAC. What a win for Bluefield on the road in overtime. As we remind you, the final score, Bluefield wins 109-107. This is Bailey Engel saying, take it easy, Rams fans.